While it these days seems impossible to ever again see a Southwest model from Herpa Wings in scale 500, once upon a time they did have the license and actually also made quite a few models. This is one of them, so let's check it out. Hello and welcome to a new episode of Review, where we today will take a close look at a Boeing 737-700 of Southwest Airlines. At the front of the box we have a lovely image of the aircraft in real life, and we have the Southwest Airlines branding. Then on the back side of the box we have the same image once more, but we also provided with the original dimensions of the aircraft and some additional details. So that's it for the box. Let's take a close look inside and at the aircraft model itself. And here she is, the Boeing 737-700 of Southwest Airlines in the Maryland 1 livery. That of course consists mainly out of, well, the flag of Maryland, one of the 50 states of the United States of America. Herpa made at the time quite a few of the special livery Southwest Airlines aircraft models, and as this is one of them, we should definitely take a closer look at it, starting off with the tail section, where we on the vertical stabilizer have the Southwest branding as it was in use at the time this model was released, and we also have the flag of the United States of America. Then on the fuselage we find the full registration code of the aircraft, and at the very tail we then also have a little bit of detailing around the APU exhaust. As mentioned, the livery on the fuselage is basically the flag of Maryland, and so when we look at the front of the aircraft, the only real detail we have here is simply the writing of Maryland 1, which of course is also the aircraft name. And that's about it then, other than the cockpit windows that have also been printed on. A little bit disappointing, although it is of course not nearly as noticeable, the lack of detailing, when an aircraft model is as colorful as this one. And while it might appear that the engine nacelles are also pretty much starved for any printed details, I mean, it's not wrong because there are no printed details other than the silver leading edge, but at least they do follow the color scheme of the fuselage. So on one side the engine nacelle is white, on the other side it's red. That I think is pretty cool. What I also think is pretty decent is actually the physical detailing of the engines, especially when we look into the front where we can see the engine fan blades very nicely. On the fuselage, just above the wings, we then have the emergency exit printed on, which leads us straight to the wings, which we of course also should take a closer look at. Starting off with the top side, where we have the different flaps, slats and spoilers carved out very nicely, but unfortunately we don't really have any printed markings as such. But what I really love is the fact that they have colored the pylons, and while that's just part of the livery, I still think it looks really cool here. And also what I quite like on the wings are of course the winglets, which I think Herpa has pulled off rather nicely here. And then we can move on to the landing gear, and here I don't want to be overly critical given that it is not a current release from Herpa Wings. Nonetheless, it's definitely not the best landing gear that we have ever seen from Herpa Wings, but it does the job, I guess. And then last but not least, we also have the doors to the cargo compartments printed on here in the back side of the aircraft and here at the front of the aircraft. So there we have it, the Boeing 737-700 of Southwest Airlines in the Maryland 1 livery from Herpa Wings in scale 1 to 500. And what can we say about this aircraft model? Well, let's be honest about this aircraft model. I'm not a huge fan of the mold that Herpa used at the time. I definitely don't think that it is the prettiest 737 mold they have ever made. I would say that the print quality is good, but we are missing a whole lot of printed details, even more than we would be missing today, and that does say a lot. But I also don't want to be overly critical. After all, the model was released from Herpa Wings in 2006. But the point remains, the model could be better. But honestly speaking, I think anyone who wants to buy this model today does it because of the livery and because you would like to have a Southwest Airlines model. And the good news here is also that even though Southwest Airlines has updated their branding, the aircraft as you see it here is actually still flying around just like that. They haven't repainted the tail yet. But absolutely, I would love to see Herpa Wings pick up the Southwest license once again and produce new models. But until then, I would say that this aircraft model is worth having in one's collection. Now with that, we have reached the end of today's episode. If you have enjoyed this video, then don't forget to leave a like, that would be very much appreciated. And of course, if you are new around here, why not hit subscribe? That would be absolutely awesome. With that, I'd like to say thank you so much for watching. Hope to see you soon again. I'm checking out, and bye.